The Govinda Bhog I showed you, the special rice has a beautiful smell to it, right? Where did I keep it? Here. This one, right? It has a special smell to it, but they're short grained. The Kali Jeera I bought, very similar, very short grained, right? But the smell is not there. The, that's the only difference, I think. I have cooked with it, and I think it's not a bad substitute. So Kali Jeera is the closest I will go to substitute that rice. And this you can use for rice pudding, or like the porridge we're going to make. I think this makes a better porridge. You can also use medium grain rice, long grain rice, or short grain rice. I think anything but basmati. Do not use basmati for this rice porridge, because basmati is starch content, I think, is low. When you strain it, you'll see the water comes out and it's more longish. Very good for rice pilaf, or say jeera rice or something where you'll see the rice, right? But when you want the rice to blend in and mix together, basmati is not the rice for you. Okay, so that's the main difference. Okay, even long grain rice has more starch than basmati, I think. I tried to make basmati into something else. Actually I was making congee, right? It's another warm dish that you like, and it's made with just rice. It's actually rice with a lot of water, right? And I tried to make it, and the congee came out. I did basmati. It didn't smell good because basmati smell is different, and it didn't have the starch. So that's why basmati not right for many of the lentils. The red lentils you know about, right? This is the one you were talking about. Also the yellow lentil. So this is something we do use a lot. You see them many times in green form, whole moong. Remember the green whole moong? This one is dehusked green moong, which is yellow. Okay, I'm holding it opposite here. That's what this one is. And this is called masur. The red lentil is called masur, and this one's called moong. So that's the two Indian names for the two lentils. This recipe is proportionately, if you read, is 1 cup of rice, half cup of this dal, half cup of that dal, right? So it's almost equal proportions of rice and lentils. What I do is I'm going to start it, because this will take time. We're going to not pressure cook it. We're going to cook it with saute. I'm going to start this, and then we can do other things. Then I'll start on the fritters, and we're going to have it together. So it's a food we'll have together. To start it off, the spices I'm going to use, I don't know, but dried chili. It's not that spicy, because I'm going to just fry it. It imparts a very clean flavor to it. It has a nice round flavor profile. No. It is not spicy. It's spicy, but to the level you can tolerate now. How about that? And then I'm going to use my whole cumin. Let me see where I can find it. Here, the whole cumin. So these would get roasted, right? Bay leaf. I'm keeping it here so that, I'm going to roast it. I'm going to give only one for you. Usually I give 2, 3, but today it's 1 because Lucy's there. And this is for heating up and releasing the spices essence, right? Pouring. I'm trying to make it enough for us, but I have never cooked this meal in a small batch. It's always been like big, because leftovers taste good too. So I'm trying to make it into a small batch, and we'll see how it goes. So the 3 things are in, and the bay leaves. I have to give 1 bay leaf. I'll give the dried ones, I think, because otherwise it will start spluttering. I think 1 is enough, because I gave 1 chili. Once it starts happening, we're going to add our dal and then rice. This one goes in first, because you need to brown this one. Okay, and then you add the other 2. So I'm going to use my half cup measure. The good thing about cooking Indian food or any food with spices, it smells good, right? Always. This is a time when you cough and splutter and you're like, oh my God, it's so pungent, but it all comes together. So if you can't see, guys, behind me, it's half a cup. Okay, good. I'm going to add the little bit that's left here. It's a little less than half a cup, which is okay. And I'm going to take a picture of this because I don't think that camera can take that, right? And actually with this, I'm going to add the little turmeric. I think I said I would add turmeric, right? Oh, good. So that's what makes it yellow. This porridge is going to be yellow. It's about, I did 3 taps, 1/4, I would say. Did it say 1/4? I'm winging it now. How much? 2 teaspoons of turmeric? Well, it will become 2 because I'm going to do a little now, then I'm going to keep on adding for each one of them. That's why. It is a lot yellow than what you'll see. Okay, I do have to grate the ginger. I don't think I have a grater. I did bring a dried ginger powder just in case, but I do want to do the ginger. So the ginger, let me see. I'm going to smash it and smush it. I think it will be grated enough that it integrates. You do want a little bit of ginger pieces in your mouth sometimes because it actually makes it hot. So ginger gives you the heat for the winter. And that's one more thing that we like doing. So it was almost done. I don't know how to make it less now, but let's add the things. No worries. Half of this guy here. Oh, look at that. Just a little more, I'm going to just dump it. Again, as you can see, it's not too much coming in. I do have to add salt. I forgot the salt because every time you add something, do the salting. That way the salting becomes even. I'm very careful with salt. We do have to taste it at the end and add the salt because the water that I'm going to add is going to make a difference of the taste, right? Now I'm going to add the rice to it. And you can see I'm sauteing it a little bit because I do want to do that. Yes, it's still hot. And this is my 1 cup. That's about it. This is going to be a pot full of porridge. Okay. Okay. Now it's time to add the water. Where is my? I'll get this started, and then I'll add the vegetables to it. I'll keep on adding the vegetables. Where is my? I said 8 cups of water, right? Or more. How much cups did I say of water? 10? Okay. 2, 3, 4. So each one is 4. So I have to put 2 more. That's why these are called quarts. It has 4 cups in them. That's 8. Adding the vegetables. 10 cups. You can also roast these beforehand, right? It's up to you. I don't see any difference. Roasted tastes better. Sometimes people will roast it prior before putting it in, and sometimes you can put it directly. So it depends. I have tried to make it simpler. That's why I'm not roasting it. If I wanted to make it more, again, say party-ish, right? Then I would roast them and make them taste better, right? But this is a 1-pot meal. I'm like, no, it's like a porridge. I'm just going to dump them in, and it will just get imbibed by all the. And another thing is, I'm adding water, but you can always add stock. I think it's smushed enough here if you want to see it. Add pieces of cauliflower. You can see the cauliflower pieces are big. The reason being that when it's getting boiled, this will also become mushy. So everything will become soft, right? I can't give too many because the rice quantity is not too much, but I'll try to give at least these many in there so that, you know, we all can get a little bit of cauliflower. And I'm going to keep the two spare, right? And then I'm going to start adding things. So the potatoes I washed, and I want things to get in there. So the best way to do it is poke them. Okay, that way, if the water is salty, this is going to get salty. Everything in the water is going to get in here. Just trying to take that out. So that's the shallots going in. This is I forgot cumin powder. This one should have gone with the turmeric. I just forgot to add it, so I'm adding it now. After this, I'm going to put the cauliflowers. I want the cauliflowers not too mushy. That's why I'm trying to time it. And then I'm going to add one sweet potato to it. I'm adding the potatoes first because those are the hard vegetables. So the hard vegetables go first before the soft ones. If you want, you can add broccoli. You can add anything you want. You can add radish. It all kind of takes the flavor of the thing. That's why I'm not pressuring it. I'm going to put it in and kind of hope for the best. I'm so used to boiling things. I'm not pressuring it, but probably I will. Hey, finally. Okay, so I'm going to add the turmeric but now I have to cook it if I add the turmeric, right? I'm going to saute. It's thick. Right now, the porridge is very thick. Okay, I have to taste it too. Sometimes we do make it thinner. I added the saute, right? Yeah. And I'm going to add, this is very whitish looking right now. That's why I'm adding the turmeric. Okay, the turmeric will have a raw smell to it unless I cook it. So that's why I have to now boil it. Okay, but it has come out. See that porridge? That's how it's supposed to be. And I'm going to add a little more water to it. Where's my water? Okay. Okay, where am I here? I need to add more water. That's where I went there because you don't need it this thick. Just to show you, this is how thickness is. I'm going to add a little more water because usually I like it a little thinner, but you can eat it this way. Okay, it's your choice. But because I like it a little thinner, I'm going to add a little more water. And everything has mixed together. I don't think you'll be able to find the cauliflowers anymore because of the pressure cooker. But if it's not pressure cooked, you would have been able to find the cauliflower. Okay, the idea is to get the cauliflowers whole, not mushy like this. Okay, that's why you do it in a stovetop and not a pressure cooker. Okay, but if I gave the cauliflowers now, it wouldn't have been cooked by now. So that was the catch-22, and I couldn't fix it. Okay, low on salt, so I have to add the salt. Okay, I have to add the sugar, which I forgot to add. Sugar, I add a little to everything, as you know, right? It's just, I think, it just makes the salt saltier. That's the reason. Okay. Also, you can have it with any oil. I have extra virgin olive oil if you want to drizzle some on top. Or, oh my gosh, everything has mushed up. Not that that's not supposed to happen. So if you do it in Instapot, this is what happens. Okay, it's not supposed to do this. That's why I don't like Instapot, but we end up using the Instapot. Okay, now the peas go in. At least the peas will be nice and. Okay. And I'm going to add the tomatoes too, so that if anyone wants a little big chunk of tomato, at least they'll have a little chunkiness to it. This one is a 2 tablespoons, right? Roasted cumin powder. 1 tablespoon. Yeah. This is the one that flavors the whole thing. and the ghee, which I'm not giving. So the ghee is essential actually at this point because of the mushiness. But I'm going to use, did I off it? Yeah, cancel. I'm going to use olive oil instead. I know tomatoes are raw, kind of, because I put them so much at the end, right? Well, it's not raw. Seems like the amount heat that it had cooked the tomatoes. So that's perfect. Okay, that's good news. So we are ready to serve them. Okay, much easier. I'm going to cut the onions first. So where's my garbage here? I did it with one egg, but we'll see. Maybe we'll have poached eggs because I have so many eggs. The carom seed, I don't know if I brought it or not. If I didn't bring it, we're going to ignore that. So the thing with egg fritters is you can't put the regular seeds in there because many times it's going to be soft inside, which means if the seeds are not roasted, it won't taste as good, right? It'll taste raw. So the carom seed you can eat raw. That's why I said you can have carom seeds. Otherwise, the other seeds, like usually, remember I put the nigella and the other things, you can't because they don't taste good raw. So that's the reason. Okay. So I'm saying one onion thinly sliced, right? One onion. And let me see if I can slice while you see it there. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know. Let's see. So usually half the and thin slice is along the grain. I always turn it over. It's easier for me. That's why. But be careful with your hands and fingers. The thing is to grab it like that and push with your onions are always hard. However you do it. Okay, now for this one, I have used this before, right? The gram flours. It's actually, you know how there are split peas, which are different. Then there's chickpeas, and the chickpeas are made into flour. Okay, so this is a chickpea flour. We use this a lot. In fact, most of our fritters are made with this. It's a flour. So it's a chickpea flour, more protein, which is good, right? And I said 2 tablespoons. So 1 egg to 2 tablespoons, right? Water to make a paste because that will blend with the egg easier. That's the reason, nothing else. Two liquids blend together than a solid and a liquid, right? And you don't want the lumps of this. It was the salt. And it was turmeric powder. We need the turmeric powder here because it's otherwise looks very, I don't know, whitish. You want the golden color, so that's the reason the turmeric powder comes in. 1/4 teaspoon is kind of 2. That's 1/4. And then nigella seeds. Oh, I did say nigella seeds. Strike that out. Nigella doesn't taste good with this. I have tried. So you can strike that out too. I think I might have carom seeds. Let me check. Be careful with eggs always, as usual, because you don't want eggs everywhere. I'm going to do white. To this batter, we're adding the onions. How much onion did I say? 1 onion. But this is a big onion. That's why. It just has to evenly coat them, basically. because it's going to be like onion fritters, right? But I might add one more egg here and a little more of that thing. You can see how it's like falling apart, right? It doesn't have enough liquid in there. So that's the reason I'm going to more. Oh, I do have the heat oil. Let me start doing that. I'm going to use a smaller pan than this one because we are only 4 people. And though I didn't say to give ginger, if you want, you can. If there are ginger or garlic lovers, you can definitely add this too. Okay. Anyone wants ginger or garlic? Garlic, I don't have ginger. No? Okay. We'll do without. But the extra egg, I think, added the little body that I needed, right? So make it 2 eggs then. Because I think this looks nicer to me than what was before. And I have a spoon here. Okay, this is fine. What will happen is bits will stick out and that will become crunchy. That's the whole idea. Sometimes I do add a little corn flour to it because corn flour adds crunchiness. So I like adding corn flour to things. Canola oil, vegetable oil. Better is grapeseed oil or canola oil, but this is what we have, so I'm just going to use this. Doesn't take too long, but you need enough so that when I put the fritters in, it merges a little bit. It doesn't touch the bottom, right? So how much oil did I say? Oil for deep frying. So whatever deep frying is, right? We're deep frying this. Now, gram flour does need salt, but eggs don't need that much salt, right? If it's less salty, we can add the salt from the top. I should keep some Himalayan salt. I'm a little careful with this new addition because I don't want to overdo it, but because the onions also gave out some water, right? That's why the proportion was right the first time. See, I needed the 2 tablespoons. Okay. What I can add here is sesame seeds and stuff because those are okay eating raw. But I don't need to. Okay, so that's, I gave about 1 tablespoon. I'm giving 1 more tablespoon. And that should be good. I was looking at it. I'm like, it doesn't look right. This is the consistency you're looking for. See? Now it looks like fritterable. See, now it's like sticking to each other, but nice and together. Good. That one's done. And this one, I can't see the things anymore, so this one's done too. Okay, we're back. And yes, the oil is hot. Add more to this. Some of them will have the green chili, some of them won't. So you'll be able to see it. But that's the once it starts, you can go quick. So okay, so that's how this is placed. They're not crowded. This is the first one that I put in cold oil and I flipped it over. As you can see, it's not browned yet, so I'm going to brown it a little more. Make it. But now I'm ready to serve, so that's good news.